Alright, so the Master of Masters is easily one of the most mysterious characters throughout the entire Kingdom Hearts universe. Even though that we've been introduced to him over 5 years ago, we still know very little about who he is, where he comes from, and what his intentions really are when it comes to the Kingdom Hearts universe. And every single time that I think about the Master of Masters, I keep on having more and more questions about what his plans are and what are the things that he's really trying to do based off the things that we've seen and his personality and how he acts. I'm just gonna give y'all a heads up now. I'm gonna just be real. Everything that I'm about to say now is probably gonna be a spoiler for you if you haven't seen Kingdom Hearts back cover, Union Cross, or the conclusion of Kingdom Hearts 3. So you might want to click off of this video now because I'm getting ready to spoil some shit. So without further ado, let's get straight into the shits. Let me tell you guys what I was thinking. So here's the thing. If you've been keeping up, we all know that the Master of Master put his gazing eye into the no-name Keyblade and he gave it to Luxu, and Luxu was supposed to pass it over the generations through time so that the Master of Masters can accurately write down the events in the Book of Prophecy, right? And at first glance, there isn't much of an issue at all. We get it. His eye literally saw these events happen, so he's able to accurately write the Book of Prophecy because he literally seen these future events happen. But then the issue starts coming once we start seeing things happen that weren't written in the Book of Prophecy. For example, Streliza being struck down and Ventus taking her place in the New World, or Brain receiving the Tome of Prophecies. If, in fact, the events that the Master of Masters saw were actually the future events, then it should be impossible for those events to change. Like, it should literally be impossible. That's kind of like if right now I looked into a future a year from now and I saw that I was gonna be homeless. And then I come back to my current time and write on a sheet of paper that I'm gonna be homeless a year from now. And then I say, you know what? I'm gonna reinvent myself. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna invest. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to not be homeless. And then a year from now, on that day that I was fated to be homeless, I'm actually a rich man. That shouldn't be possible, because if it is, then originally when I went into the future, what future was I looking at? And if I was to go back to that sheet of paper that I wrote on that says that I'm indeed supposed to be homeless in the future, it makes it seem like what I wrote is either me telling a lie, because that clearly isn't the future I saw because I actually turned out rich, or this is the product of alternate timelines. And that's a very difficult path to go down, so I'm not even about to go there. So let me tell you the more plausible one that I think it is. I think that all of the things are happening are things that the Master of Masters knew was going to happen, and I think the copy of the Tome of Prophecies that he gave to the foretellers weren't actually the accurate versions. I think that he already saw that Streliza would get struck down. I think that he saw that Brain was going to get the Book of Prophecies. I think he knows that all of these events are going to happen already, but he left them out of the Tome of Prophecies that he gave to the foretellers. But now the question is, why would he do that? I think it's for the same reason that he gave each of the foretellers different roles. He has his own end goal for how he wants things to turn out. He has his own motives, and the best way to do that is by manipulating and controlling the situation. Because even when it came to the foretellers, he gave them all individual roles that we found out later conflicted with each other, which ended up ultimately leading to the Keyblade War that he was telling them to try to avoid. And I don't think that this makes him a bad guy or anything like that. I think he has his own goals and his own motives and things that he's trying to accomplish, and the best way for him to be able to do that is by being able to control the chess pieces, being able to control the way that people think or react and move, and he manipulates the situation. I think that the copies of the Tome of Prophecy that he gave to the foretellers aren't the real versions of how things actually happen in history. I think the version that he saw is the way the events are actually playing out, and he just gave them altered versions of what the actual events were so that he can continue to control the situation. This is just a thought at this moment. I'm going to keep on doing more thinking into this theory and more ideas around the Master of Masters. Tell me what you think down below. I can't wait to get into more theories with y'all. Make good choices. Peace.